Let's first choose the position. First judge the position, because everyone needs to know all of our stroke motions. The ways of executing strokes. This must be built upon our footwork, pushing, our center of gravity, being in the correct position. Only then can we execute the stroke. Many friends, when watching the ball, might focus too much on what kind of spin this ball has, but ignore the anticipation this ball's position, resulting in you knowing this ball should be flicked. But ultimately what happens is your body and hand are very far from the ball, causing your motion to deform and then making mistakes. Anticipating the position then let's first talk about the left and right positions. First, everyone watch. When we are watching the ball, what are we watching? We are watching the exact moment the opponent contacts the ball. Watch the direction of the racket head, the movement path of the racket head, because everyone also knows the opponent is utilizing the forearm, fingers, and wrist, generating power to serve it out. Right. Then when the opponent generates power, there is definitely if I want to serve towards everyone. Forehand short ball. Everyone watch how I serve. How is my racket head? I'll go a bit slower. How is my racket head? The final direction of force of my racket head will go towards everyone's forehand position. That is, the final direction my racket head towards everyone's forehand. Right. Racket head pointing towards the forehand. I stand in the same position when serving to everyone's backhand. Hey, I didn't let you guys see this. Look at where my racket head is pointing now. Isn't my racket head currently pointing towards everyone's? Right. Serving to forehand points racket towards everyone's forehand. Do you understand? That's the first thing. We must first learn to watch the opponent at the exact moment they contact the direction of their racket head. Actually, I'll teach everyone a principle called 3 points make a line. When anticipating left what and does right 3 points make a line mean? The first refers to the opponent themselves. The second point is this ball. The first bounce on their own side of the table. Then what is the third point? The third point is where it bounces to you. That is, for you currently the spot where this ball bounces on your side. These 3 points can be called 3 points make a line. Let me show everyone now. First of all, when we go to watch the ball, we must definitely prioritize judging the opponent's motion, the direction of the racket angle. Secondly, observe the first bounce of the opponent's serve on the table, the first landing point. Actually, through the opponent's standing position and the position of their first bounce, we can directly anticipate where the opponent is going to serve. Why do I say that? Because of 3 points make a line. When the opponent's stance is established, and the first bounce of the opponent's is also established in its position, actually the third point is an extension line of point A and point B. Everyone watch. Let me give an example. I am now standing in this forehand serving position to you guys. If I want to serve towards everyone's forehand, look, first of all, myself as a person, as your opponent. The person is point A. Look at where my first bounce happens. My first bounce happens here now. Everyone look at the position of my first bounce. Now let me place something there so everyone can see. Look, the ball bounces here. Okay, I'll place something here first. B as point A. The first bounce as point B. Then where is point C? Point C is the extension line of points A and B, because it goes out in a straight line. So for this ball, look, B is here. It must. Then what about C? Just be over there. Understood, friends. And now let me give you an example. For the backhand is the same. Backhand is also the same. I'm still standing here right now. When I want to serve to everyone's backhand position, where must my first bounce be? The first bounce must be here. I'll serve one for you first. Look, my first bounce is here. First bounce is here. Then I as the person am point A. The first bounce is point B. Then what is point C? It's the extension line from my point B. So, ABC will definitely be in your backhand position. No other way. Look, friends, right now, I'm standing in the forehand position. Change to another position. I stand in this backhand pivot position to serve. It's also the same. When I stand here to serve, we can already establish that point is the person themselves. Then look, if the first bounce of their serve hits over here, point is here, point B is here, point B is here. Right. Then where must point C of this ball be? It must be here. Fine. Okay. No, it must just be right there, isn't it? Look, point up. The extension is point C. This way, you just look at the opponent's standing position plus the position of their first bounce. You can extend along this straight line to find the spot they are serving to you. Understood? I'll tell you. Does it still apply if it curves? Right now I stand here. How do I serve towards everyone's backhand? Look, the person is here at point A. Then my point B probably has to be here. If my point B lands here, then point C. ABC goes straight out along the line. Then it goes to everyone's backhand position. This is point up, point B, point this C. Is the principle of 3 points make a line. Just now these two friends then asked, for so-called spinny balls, so-called curving side spin balls, does this principle of 3 points make a line still apply? Why, friends, everyone needs to know. Where does this ball start to curve? I'll serve one for you now. Serve a relatively
I'll
spinny
serve a
one.
reverse spin. You watch.
I'll first follow what I said about point A, point B, point C. See if it still applies. Does it apply? Isn't it still applicable?
Very
But look,
applicable?
where did this ball start to spin?
From
Which position did it start to curve? Doesn't it also
If
have
this
to?
ball wants to curve,
It must also be built upon point A to point B to point C. It only starts to curve after it lands on your side of the table. It's impossible for it to be brushed out from my side here. First bounces here, hasn't even crossed the net and directly curves over there. No one in the world can do that. No one can do that. The most accurate, it just lands at everyone's third point. That is, it only starts to curve after landing just on your side. It actually starts curving from the second bounce. But the amplitude of its curve is very, very small. Extremely small. Everyone take another look. Very, very small. Its real curving happens after the ball lands on your table. Then it starts to curve. It's impossible to say that. I serve the first bounce here. Then my ABC wouldn't form a straight line. Directly land on your side. Don't even think about it. It's impossible. No matter how spinny I serve, even if I brush it incredibly extremely strong right side spin, it still can't be served over. Hey, I'll serve a really, really spinny and curving one for you. No matter how spinny I make it. Doesn't it also have to land on your side before it starts curving? Do you understand? Then I use left side spin now. To serve again, just now was right side spin. For example, look at me. If I stand here right now, I am point A. If here is point B, then point C will definitely still be at the forehand. Everyone go take a look. Even if this ball must it start spinning from? Doesn't it also have to land on the forehand side before it can form this kind of curve? Is this right? That's correct. It only started curving after landing on your side. Right. Are there extremely long balls that curve especially in the first two bounces? Where can it curve to? Please tell me. No matter how much it curves, even if I serve an extremely long ball to you now, doesn't this ball also have to? Suddenly after it passes to your side, start curving. Can it directly curve from here to over there? It's impossible, isn't it? All curving is built upon it landing on your side of the table first. So when you anticipate left and right positions, you absolutely don't need to worry if the opponent serves a left side spin. Understood? Friends, absolutely do not be affected by this. If someone serves a right side spin, I serve from here and aim over there. And you run to the other side to wait for it. The ball won't curve over there. Even if you get along here, he wouldn't be able to serve it over there. This point is very crucial. Anticipating the opponent's left. You just need to learn this principle of 3 points make a line. These 3 points, point A is themselves. Point B is the first bounce of their serve. Point C is a and B's straight extension line. That is the position where it lands on your side. When you use this method to watch the ball and you will find that you watch it very accurately. It's equivalent to this ball. When it hasn't even crossed the net, I can clearly perceive that this ball is on my backhand, forehand, or in the middle. This way. Look. From preparation, I know whether I should lean towards the backhand or lean towards the forehand or watch towards the middle.